Go ahead.
Alrighty, so we will go in 3, 2. Welcome back to another episode of Born Again Bow Hunting Podcast. You know what? Honestly, a lot of people don't get to see that. And if you are seeing that,
yeah, that's true. They'll get to see it from now on.
Now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
If you're not seeing this, Maddie messed something up, and it didn't work. But before we, obviously you guys probably saw from the title that we've got our good buddy Vince on. We'll let him introduce himself here in a second. But we were kind of chatting quite a bit before we hit the actual record button because this is the first video that we're going to try to get back. This is the first podcast that we will be videoing, and we're going to try to do that on a weekly basis. We've been doing some praying and just kind of thinking, and I think God's really kind of pushing us this direction. And Vince, before we hit record, you kind of were asking, like, what is this? You guys going to be videoing a lot more? What are your plans? Before this 25-26 deer season, we all had agreed that we were going to try to video our hunts. And we were going to try to make like a really, really high production. And we didn't tell anybody. We didn't tell our listeners. We didn't tell anybody on social. We didn't tell our close hunting buddies. We were just like, we're going to try to make something special for YouTube.
It was just our mutual agreement.
Yep.
Right. And we were just going to try and, pop out like 3-4 really good films per year.
Basically like every kill, but it was going to be like top notch, like,
right, because
spending days editing a video instead of just like a couple hours.
Because if you followed us from before, like we posted quite a few videos and they were just of certain hunts and every time we made a trip. And so, we posted quite a few hunts, but they weren't exactly like the most high end thing.
No,
and we
they
kind
weren't
of
high
were like,
quality.
we should just do 3 or 4 high quality things and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we were thinking quality instead of quantity.
Right.
And we prayed about it, and we were like, actually one of the big sparks was when Kevin and I were coming back from the Mobile Hunter Expo. It kind of sparked us to like, I feel like God kind of lit a fire underneath us, and we were like, let's do this again. Let's go for it. But we also said that, like, we prayed about it and said, if God blesses our season and allows us to film and have a successful, production, then we know
that's a sign.
We know that that's the direction He wants us to go. Well, the good Lord closes doors and opens doors.
Jerry was the only one that filmed the kill this year.
So out of like all 7 bucks that were killed this year by the team, Jerry was the only one that got any footage. Yeah. So we took that as a sign that, you know what, the podcast is our calling, and I think that we've talked about it personally. I think that we have personalities that probably it wouldn't, especially me. I'll be honest, I'd have a personality that probably wouldn't work well with growing, a large YouTube channel. So we decided that, hey, we still want to get more growth. We still want to get more reach, but instead of just doing the audio version of the podcast, we're going to also do a video version. So we buckled down. We bought some AI editing software, and we're going to try to make it work. So hopefully when you guys are listening to this, if you want to go out and check the video, hopefully, by the grace of God,
it's there.
It will work. If it's not there, I promise next week we'll try harder.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Too, with the platform, once you get the video done, we can put that on for Spotify and Apple, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So at least on Spotify, there could be a video, too.
Right.
So I know that's a big
Wait,
thing.
I do like
Spotify can do video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I'm an Apple guy, so like I just do Apple Podcasts.
Yep. So, yeah, once you get this done, we will release the audio normal Thursdays. When you get the video done, we can tag it in there, and then it,
Sweet.
For Spotify, if you guys want to watch, you can watch on there then too.
Yeah, and we're tweaking a little bit. Kev's been kind of working on his studio a little bit more, and we're still tweaking some things. So if we move periodically these first couple months, we're just kind of finalizing the studio. But yeah, sorry, Vince, we're taking your spotlight, but that was
no, it's fantastic.
That was the long-winded answer. Yeah. And honestly, we wanted somebody on that we felt comfortable enough with. That was
we're like, who can we have on and maybe mess this up with?
Yeah.
And them not be mad at us.
Yeah, and then them not want to kill us. So obviously, we still wanted to talk to you, but we, you have a good enough friendship with us that we knew that if something went haywire, we'd at least have the recording for the audio, and that's better than nothing. So
Yeah. And if it goes wrong, we can just blame it on the Michigan guy and not the
yeah.
Oh, dang. Don't do that. Don't do that. You guys are going to lose some listeners.
Doubtful.
No, I'm honored. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why don't you introduce yourself real quick, kind of give them the elevator speech, and then we'll get into it.
So I'm honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me on. Always a pleasure chatting with you guys. If you listened before, good to see you again. Or good to hear you again. Yeah, my name's Vince Battiata. I reside in southern Michigan. I love to bow hunt. Been bow hunting public land now for pushing up on 10 years. I've hunted since I was a kid. Did the pole thing just like everybody else. Your dad said sit at the base of the tree, shoot it if it moves. So, but other than that, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I got a 1.5-year-old son, who's a blessing. He's fantastic. He's an amazing child. And then we have a second one on the way. So we're super excited and happy to be here, man.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks.
And I guess to touch on this a little bit more, me and Vince connected on social media years ago, and I don't know what it was about us, but like we just stayed in contact with each other and like
talk more, Kev. How did that happen? How did you guys just?
Man, that was Kevin was probably like my second follower.
Wow.
I'm dead serious. I think I had like just gotten Instagram. It was super early. I mean, it was a long time ago, Kevin.
It was a long time ago.
Were you creeping on him, Kev?
I honestly don't know. Like,
I think
if a picture came up or
I have no
whatever
idea.
first, but like for whatever reason, I'm like, yep, I'll follow this dude. He's got some solid stuff,
And
and
it would have been under the Chasing Public tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably thought
Yeah,
that
I
was like a
think-
cool handle.
I think so.
very possible. So
I think so. I had that handle fairly early. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was, but we just made a good connection and just stayed in touch, throughout the season and then even out of season, and then it turned into more of a friendship versus like I follow this dude, he follows me back, and it just kind of like kept growing, and then swapped numbers, just kept growing from that, and then I don't know, it became a really good
turned
friendship.
into strategy, turned into
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Then turned into, the shed hunting trip. Came out
Yep.
there, did the shed hunting trip. Remember we had got to see that buck drop at St. Louis
Yeah,
in
that was
person. That was
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
deer
we went up.
camp?
did a hunt camp
Yep.
in Indiana, and
And then this past
Here we
summer,
are.
we went up to Michigan
Oh,
to
yeah.
Holland for a tulip festival, and then met up with you guys and spent the day and had a really good time doing that too. So
That's
it's
right,
more than just like follow that dude on Instagram. He's a solid dude. Like it's a true friendship, I think, and with
Yeah.
the whole group too. Now, so which is pretty cool.
Well, I don't
great.
know.
yeah, don't listen to Matt. Matt doesn't understand that.
It's ironic.
Matt's in this one for the long haul.
Everyone says the same thing about Matt.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
But yeah, we were, before we hit record, we were talking about like trips and stuff, and like, I'm sure that did we lose everybody? Okay,
He just froze for a second.
sorry. I felt like we lost everybody for a second.
I lost you guys for a second.
Yeah, it's
All right,
good though.
I think we're back. But what I was saying is we were talking before we hit record that you guys will probably be hearing a lot more from Vince. Maybe the late October, early November time frame. We won't give away too much, but he may be in camp with us. So
Hey,
yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
I gotta mind my P's and Q's for a lot of months.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's all right. You can be yourself.
Okay. Fair enough.
So how'd your season go, Vince? Because you ended up killing a buck, and then I know you had a couple mishaps. But why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man, I had a for some reason I knew you were going to ask me this question, and I had thought about it earlier today. I was like, well, what do I want to say? And big picture wise, I thoroughly enjoyed my season. I learned a lot about myself this year. I was much more carefree than I've been in the past. I'd say a few seasons prior, I was in like this crazy obsession mode over this very specific deer who's now perished thank goodness. Honestly, it's been a blessing that he's gone because he's been driving me crazy. And but this season was super forgiving. I was able to just enjoy it, be myself, have a lot of fun, not put a lot of pressure on myself, which was really enjoyable. But yeah, no, I did shoot a buck. He's probably anywhere between 2.5 to 3 years old. Small 8 point, but it was one of those textbook perfect hunts. He did exactly what I wanted a buck to do. He walked right to the scrape. Textbook November 1st hunt. Hit the scrape, perfect broadside, 30 yards. Hit him, shot him perfect. He went 12 yards and tipped over.
Dude.
I mean, it was like I had never had a hunt that was that perfect. And he's probably now my favorite deer that I have. Which was awesome. But yeah, I did have a few mishaps this year, which I have a few mishaps every year, so it wouldn't be a fun bow season without it, I don't think. But I started bow hunting back in August. Took a trip to North Dakota, started all the way out in the Badlands, and then moved up to central Nodak, and then eventually made my way down to the southeast. And then it was a struggle to find a buck, really. Honestly, that's what it was. And so I was just making moves on the fly and spent 2 weeks out there, and eventually got in front of one in the southeast. It was like 100-inch 7-pointer, and put a bad shot at him. Tracked him for a long time, and wasn't able to fill my tag there. But it was it was probably, I can't put it as the best trip because I've had more fun on different trips, but it was definitely the most eye-opening trip for myself as a person, as a bow hunter, as a husband, as a dad, as a friend, just in life in general. That's where I learned, I think, the most about myself this year. And then after that, ended up going northern Michigan, and missed a couple does. Never saw a buck. Missed a few does, and then shortly after that, I came back, and that's when November was, and when I connected on that buck. And once I connected on that buck, I was completely satisfied with my season. I definitely got out a bunch more and did some scouting, and did some hunts with some friends and stuff. But I was just like totally in that free spirit mindset where
the pressure was
honestly
off.
Didn't care if the pressure was gone. I didn't care if I filled the tag. I was just out having fun. So
amen, dude. So why don't
it was a good season.
What the deer that you said that was driving you crazy, that I assume somebody shot or he died? I vaguely remember seeing pictures maybe Kev shared with me or whatnot, but why don't you talk a little bit about, because I know that you were chasing that deer for a couple of years, weren't you? Maybe you hit him, missed him, had a couple of encounters with him. I can't remember all the details.
Yeah, so I chased that deer for 4 years. It was a deer I called Bowser. He was just a huge, wide, mainframe 8-pointer. I mean, he was just a giant.
It's a tank.
And he ended up being a 10.
No, I'm sorry.
Wide.
I said he's a tank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but I was wrong. He was a 10-pointer, not an 8-pointer.
Okay.
He was definitely a tank. Like, he was fully matured when I located him, and then I chased him for another 4 years. So he was an old dude. And the first season, right after I located him, within a few weeks, I was actually able to connect on him. I hit a branch, and it hit him high, and that was the year I had came and visited you guys, and I had the issue with my bow. That was the first time I think I had met the crew, and had all that stuff going on with my bow. And so, long story short, my arrow basically bounced off the side of this car size of a deer, basically. And super embarrassing, but it is what it is. Anyway, so chased that deer for the next 3 years after that, and this year I was getting ready to go back into that area. I had stayed out all year. I knew he was still around. I had seen him a couple times. And he always came back into this very, very secluded section a couple days right before Halloween, or he would show up around November 5th, 6th type of area. And so he hadn't shown up at the end of October. and I caught a glimpse of him as I was driving from the truck, and so I knew he was headed into the area because he was kind of in that section, and so I went to go in to hunt, and I had something come up for work. I wasn't able to go, and then I had got a text message from a buddy of mine that runs another good podcast and works with Latitude, and he said, like, is this, do you recognize this one? Because we had talked about him from the year before, and he had just happened to see him on like one of the Facebook local pages, and so he was taken out of that area, but he never made it. I knew right where he was taken out of, and he never made it to that section, so he was on his way at some point.
Gotcha.
And got caught, but just a local guy nobody had ever seen before. I don't know who he is. He had his younger daughter with him. She looked like she was like 9, so it was I'm glad that a family man got him. It was unfortunate, but
So
did you ever make contact with that guy then, or find out?
I didn't. I thought about it.
You should have.
There was
You should have.
I still might. I'm still debating because I have which I thought I only had one of his sheds, but I was just literally today going through my pile, and I found another shed in there that was eaten up. But it was the other side from the year prior. I just didn't connect the dots, and I was showing Audrey, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang, I actually had both sides. And so, yeah, I'll probably, once the season closes out here in a few weeks, I'll probably reach out. I've been thinking about it quite a bit, actually, lately. I just...
you should. At least get your hands on the deer. I mean, you chased that thing for 4 years,
Yeah, there's a piece of me that I don't want to see him.
Dude,
you'll regret that. No, I don't think so. I hunt public land like 98% of the time. And, before that deer, and this deer kind of screwed me up a little bit, but before that deer, I had learned the hard way a couple times to just never fall in love with a deer. That's for your wife and children. And I got that message from like a super old timer, and it never really left me. And so, like, the day that I found out that he was taken, I was kind of, I was sad. I was like, dang, that's over. It's over. Right. But I couldn't be more relieved that, like, it's over. Whether he's mine or somebody else's, doesn't bother me. I like the adventure. I like locating. I like scouting. It's just, if I never see him, I never see him. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
No, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, he was probably like 60s, 70s.
He was. I don't know if he was 70. He's pretty big. He had to be somewhere between high 50s, low mid 160s.
Yeah, because I remember when you first were showing me pictures of him a couple of years ago. He was every bit of 60s, wasn't he? I mean, he was huge. Yeah. He
was big.
Yeah, and for Michigan public, that's
he's a ham.
That's impressive.
He's a ham for sure. But there's another deer that's around that he's not as wide, but he's got a lot of mass, and I think he might actually score a little bit better, to be honest. And so he's alive.
Don't be telling
I'm not
people
worried
that.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
He's not worried about it.
I probably won't even be here. I'll probably be in a different state.
Hey,
there you go.
You know what I mean?
Kev said that he'll rent out his basement.
I was gonna say he'll be sleeping in the studio.
Listen, if I find him, I'll send you the pin. You guys can tell me what to do.
Dude, I'll help you any chance I can.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Here he is, buddy.
Found him.
I'm trying not to be selfish, like, at all with any of my hunting stuff anymore. It's just, it makes me feel much better. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I know throughout the season, just go back a little bit, you also changed bow setup and total bow brand even too. You want to touch a little bit on like building confidence with that new setup and just changing, going from what you had for years, and then you change that up a little bit too?
Yeah, so I had a Matthews Phase 4, and I actually really liked that bow. And I shot it for a handful of years, but I could never. It just, I mean, when you shoot a bow and it's like it's just locked, like it feels like it's a part, like it was built off of your body, and it's just like that's it, right? I never got to the point with that bow. It just every year, every season, just throughout the duration that I owned the bow, I just never felt like I could get it to where I needed it to be. And so I had the opportunity to trade it in. And so I just went completely opposite of something that I was shooting, and I had picked up the Prime Form. It was a 34 is when they had just released, so a little bit longer axle there. And I don't have a very long draw. And that bow took me a little bit to get in, but I got it to the point relatively quickly. And it was a shooter. It's a good bow. Like, it's pretty fast. It's a little bit louder than the Matthews, but super durable. I really enjoyed the bow.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't like about it was that long of an axle to axle for me. I like a straight 30, and that's what I got now. So I had shot that buck with it this season with the Prime, and then I traded that one in and picked up the Matthews Arc 30. I had been waiting for Matthews to drop a straight 30 for a minute. I shoot well with a 30. I don't know what it is. I love it. It just fits perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying that new bow right now, actually.
Very cool. It's a shooter from what we hear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Matthews fan, and I know that we were talking, I don't know, a couple days ago, weeks ago maybe, Vince, you were asking me if I was going to jump on the Arc train, and I personally probably am not going to pick up the new one, but I have the Lift, the original Lift, not the X, and talking to, when you mentioned that when a bow feels a part of you, that Lift, for whatever reason, to me is like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get rid of that bow. I mean, I've had the last couple seasons I've had with that bow have just been, I'm sure sooner or later I'm going to screw up and miss one, like it happens, but man, that bow has treated me well, and I when I draw that thing back, like you said, it just feels right, it just feels, feels right, and it's super accurate, so why change,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you felt that way about that VX. What was that?
That's what I got.
The Vort? No.
That was the V3. Oh, the Verdicts is what I had.
Verdicts.
Yeah, and I kept that one
Dude,
for
that's
years.
why I wanted to get the Arc, is because the Verdicts was my favorite bow of all time.
Yeah.
It's a 30 axle to axle, if I remember right.
Yep.
And the actual specs are super close.
Yeah.
The Arc's just like a tad bit faster, a little bit smoother. But if you go back and look, like, those bows are super close in specs.
Yeah,
The Verdicts.
I love that
Yeah.
Verdicts.
The Verdicts was the first high-end bow I bought. And dude, I fell in love with
shot
it.
the
I
dog
shot
poo
the
out of that
I
thing.
shot the lights off with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I
Yeah.
took to tack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit the
And hit the
111 yarder.
111 yarder with that sucker. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was a killer bow, and I kept that one for years until I got the V3X, and then
Does Josh still have that thing?
no, I don't think he does.
You
I
should
think he
buy
went
it.
back to Hoyt.
You should buy it back.
I think he sold it and then went back to Hoyt.
Dang.
Them guys that
I
start
thought
out
about
with
buying
Hoyt,
one.
I don't know. They tend to end with Hoyt.
Shh, don't get me started.
I don't know. I shot that. What was that bow that that guy had at the church
that
bow shoot?
Hoyt?
It was a Torex or something.
yeah.
Dude, I shot that thing lights out.
Don't start with me.
Yeah.
He moved on to a 10 point.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry if he's listening.
I doubt it.
Found that funny.
I doubt it. But yeah, he did.
Oh. All right, so Vince, I appreciate you being honest. A lot of people would probably hide that, they had some ups and downs throughout their season because so many people want, that, grip and grin photo, and they don't really tell the downs. They always tell the ups. But, what are some takeaways, because I'm sure that there's a lot of people listening to this podcast that most, this will air in a couple weeks from now, so most seasons are probably closed. Maybe Ohio is the only one still open, but I would say that 90% of archery seasons are probably closed. People are probably either really excited about their season or really bummed about their season, or they have mixed emotions or want to learn. So I guess my question for you would be, from experiencing everything from ups, downs, in the middle, what would you take away, or what would you tell somebody that was listening that wants to improve their season for next year?
Yeah, to improve your season for next year. I ask myself that every single year. There's always something that happens, but how I look at it and how I approach this every season is a new season. You know, I mean, I'm only 38. To me, I feel like I have another 30 years of bow hunting left in me, so
right.
it's okay to mess up. Like, and if you're not bow hunting hard, if you're not messing up, I feel like you're not bow hunting hard, or you haven't bow hunted long enough, because you're gonna mess up. It's okay. And what I would say is the best advice I could give is if you don't have a target, by the time the season opens, get super aggressive and try to smack a couple does with their bow as quick as possible, and just
Build the confidence.
Get your confidence rolling. Get something. Take a shot, even if you miss. Is even just missing, the first one of the season, if on a doe, I feel like it'll still help increase your confidence. Yeah, you missed, but like, all right, you're dusting off the cobwebs. You're getting the jitters out. Like, you're getting the season moving. Just get after it.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I took away from what you said earlier that I was kind of hoping you were going to touch on, but that's fine. We'll talk about it right now. You had that like, I'm gonna word it as like the I don't care attitude. After you killed your buck, you had that like real chill, like I'm cool with just kind of going with the flow, hunting for me, like taking, relaxing. And honestly, I think that because I've had those seasons before where I haven't killed a deer, or excuse me, a buck. I haven't filled my buck tag. And, I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to do that when we just have that mindset of, hey, I'm just hunting to have fun, or I'm hunting to be with friends, or I'm hunting to go out there and be closer with God. Like, that's the mindset changes. And I think that when your mindset changes like that, you don't put so much pressure on yourself. You don't care what other people think. And you just enjoy it so much more. So the filling of a tag doesn't matter anymore. It's the journey. So, and I really appreciate you saying that earlier in the pod, that you kind of had that after you killed your buck, you were just like, you know what, I'm just gonna chill the rest of the season. And for anybody listening that might be struggling, like, don't put so much pressure on yourself to harvest or whatever, because Jerry and I talked about that a lot this year. Kind of, he hunted how many times in Ohio?
Well, I shot my buck on my 4th time out. Yeah.
And you felt like, you were content.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I was.
That's awesome.
And it was, I didn't put the pressure on early. Like, I was just like, I'm going to go when everything lines up. Like, when my wife has something to do or the kids have stuff to do and I've got just this time, like, I'll go. But I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm going to be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next, 4 weekends in a row. Like,
right.
It was just, when it fell into place, it's like, hey, it's noon.
I got some free
and we
time to
don't
go.
we don't have anything to do the rest of the day. And the kids are sleeping. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to, I'm going to run here, I'm going to run there. And yeah, it was super nice to do that and not be like, okay, I got to fill a buck tag. I got to do this, got to do that. It was just like, okay, it's just, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. And
so
ultimately, like, if you don't fill your buck tag, nobody's going to remember that.
Dude,
Nobody's
nobody
holding
cares.
that against you. You know what I mean?
Nobody cares.
It's just yourself putting that pressure on yourself that, like, man, last year I didn't fill a tag, and the year before, like, whatever. Nobody cares. This is a new season. It resets. Go have fun.
Honestly, like so many quote unquote killers are, they're out there probably, wanting to stack $3-4 a season, smacking good ones left and right. And, in my mind, if they don't kill, I'm sure there's so many people out there that are like, oh, they probably had the worst season ever, ha ha ha, that, and in my mind, it's like, man, they must have been chasing a real big one, like
to hold out on.
Yeah.
Something.
Or like they had one heck of a season to not.
Or they missed.
Yeah.
A bunch of times. Like, you hear about them talk about it all the time. Like, they're not killing every deer they're shooting at.
Oh, no.
They're missing probably 3 times the amount of deer that they're killing.
Yeah.
That's just, nobody's that good.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just something that just a lot of times goes untalked about.
Yeah, 100%. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Nobody wants to promote themselves that I missed a 180 or whatever. It's just like, nope, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
We're going to move on
Close
to the
your
next
eyes and
time.
pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I missed, Vince, I don't know if I ever told you this. I missed, so I let my wife name my deer, and there was this old grumpy looking grandpa buck that she named Whiskers and Whiskers was probably like 150, 160. I missed him 2 years in a row here in Ohio. Like
on the same property.
on the same property.
Basically in the same spot.
Within like the same couple
the,
days.
The same tree within days.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That deer had 9 lives, dude, I swear. But
he was meant for the neighbor.
That deer just wasn't meant for you, man.
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't.
exactly.
God did not have.
But you wanted him bad.
Oh, God closed that door twice, and it was like, I wanted that.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
I wanted that buck bad. That's all right.
That's
though.
probably what Kime thought the first 3 seasons in.
Yeah, but mine's probably not going to turn into a 200. Mine's going downhill.
You never know. He just gets in the neighbor's
but
lucky
that just
buck.
goes to, I mean, that's a perfect. I mean, Kime's a great example, though. I mean, he's killed some great deer over the years, and he chased that one for several years and missed him a handful of times, and then eventually he connected on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It doesn't always happen that way.
He didn't fill a tag for a couple years, right?
Yeah, and so I think I made the comment jokingly to him at one point, but he's like, I've gotten that comment multiple times on social media, like, dude, you shoot something like this every year, and he's like, I haven't shot a buck in, I'm just guessing, like 3 seasons or something like that. Like, it's been a while, but he's like, nobody remembers that, but they remember, like, this guy's consistently killing a good mature deer on the regular, and they just chalk it up to, well, you do this every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of guys like that too.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jake
I
Bush.
think-
He just killed that slammer.
Yeah.
And he went,
Yeah.
he killed that booner. I mean, he killed like 2 booners in a row and then went like 2 or 3 seasons without killing a deer.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's back on like a 2 or 3 season streak. Like,
Yeah.
I think it just comes in waves, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Vince, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, and there's no telling, on his season, what other bucks did he encounter that he possibly had an opportunity on that he didn't or he missed. I mean, he's talked about missing a deer before, or it's screwed up or whatever, and he's a fantastic hunter, right? It's bow hunting.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. It's okay. I think we were talking about relieving the pressure off yourself. I put a lot of pressure on myself for a handful of years, and it was just so much harder. As soon as I stopped that this year, and I think, Matt, we had talked about it a little bit earlier in the season when we were talking about shot process.
Yep.
And I had given you 2 scenarios of, hey, should I hunt this place that offers this, or should I hunt this section of ground that offers this? And your response was like, I think you should go here and just go get yourself a win. Right?
Yep.
And that changed my entire season.
And you did.
And
You went there.
And it was one of the best seasons I had.
Yep.
Yeah.
You went there and shot that buck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah.
like, when you do that, when you relieve that pressure and you look at it in a different light, you're like, I honestly don't really want to do it any other way anymore. It's like, that was fun. I learned a lot, but it really wasn't that fun.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, but to be devil's advocate, I guess, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I've had 2 seasons that I can remember where I hunted extremely hard and did not fill a buck tag. And I will say, even though they were extremely frustrating, those were probably the years that I learned the most about whitetail hunting.
Yeah.
Now, granted, was I the best husband or the best father? At the time, I wasn't a father, but you know what I'm saying. Was I the best husband? Probably not, because I spent a lot of time in the woods. But I feel like, if there are some younger fellas out there that are listening to this that, don't have a lot of seasons under their belt, maybe target that one buck that's, maybe a little bit above what you've got on the wall and just spend a whole season after him, and don't worry about whether you kill him or not. Like, obviously try, but if you don't kill him, I guarantee you're going to learn so much more about the whitetail deer if you don't kill him than if you went out the first time and shot him. Because if you go out the first time and shoot him, you're going to assume that, I've got it figured out and I know how to do it. And then the next year, it's probably not going to repeat itself.
I think you're right, though. Like, when you focus on one thing, you learn a lot more just from that specific deer. But then you pay more attention to, okay, what did I do right tonight? What did I do wrong tonight? Why did that deer react the way it did? And just not just maybe that mature deer you're after, but like, how can I access differently, all the things, right?
Yeah.
So I would agree. When you really focus on one thing instead of having, 6, 8 possible targets, you have 1 or 2. You have a longer season, but you learn a lot more.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I don't think that like so many people think of not filling a buck tag as a negative. You know, spending time with God, enjoying His creation, learning more about the whitetail. How can anybody say that that's a negative? You know,
Yeah.
Unless you missed the deer like 5 times in one season, and then I'll be praying for you because I'd probably be suicidal too. But I mean, like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this, like what I was just talking about, them seasons where I didn't fill a tag, man, I learned so much. You know, that mass buck, you know, he comes top of the list. You know, that's probably the most recent one that you guys remember. Honey, you know, I was chasing Honey, didn't fill a buck tag that year. You know, we're talking about arguably probably the biggest typical I ever chased in my life. You know, and it's like I learned so much from those seasons where I was chasing those big deer, and you know, they won, but at the end of the day, it's like I also won because I learned so much.
Yeah, you have knowledge to back it up.
Yeah,
now.
and you know, and honestly, it's paved the way for me to have seasons where I kill multiple deer in one year. And if I didn't have those seasons where I struggled, I wouldn't be where I am at now. You know, so I mean, I have to be thankful for that.
I mean, that's what I did with that deer Bowser. I had gotten to a point in my journey where I had said, all right, here's this deer. I want this deer. It's the only deer I'm going after, and I'm going to dedicate as much time as I possibly can that I'm able to. But that's the only deer I'm focused on, and any other deer doesn't matter. And I spent 4 seasons doing that. I gave up 4 seasons of passing deer, focusing on that deer, and I've learned more in those 4 seasons than my entire time of hunting. They couldn't be more close to the truth, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I just can't wait till we're sitting around a fire next fall. And
what he's saying is he let his trigger finger itch for a long time, and he's gonna start scratching.
Yeah, we're gonna be sitting in camp, and the old finger is gonna start twitching, and we're gonna be like, Vince, what's wrong, buddy? Oh, I gotta kill something.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that spot I sent Kevin tonight, the first sucker that comes trotting down there is done. It's done.
I love it.
And if it's not the big one, like, I'm okay with that.
Sorry, buddy.
Boys are coming up there.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
We're having a tracking job tonight.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. After that trip we had with Black, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the cart.
Yeah.
Busting down.
Yes. Him throwing it on his shoulder. That cart.
Yeah,
I think
hilarious.
that cart is going to be retired because we broke it again this last trip. We actually threw 2 of them on there, and it was. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to upgrade the cart, or I'm gonna have to weld something on it because it keeps breaking.
I got a cart.
Okay.
I got a cart.
What you need is the drone. Just pick
Yeah,
it up
yeah.
and drop it out.
I'll just
again.
hang on one arm and hang the other, and lift me out of there.
There you go.
Bunch of nerds.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't wait. You know, I was actually talking to a guy at work today. I'm sitting there and like, you know, it's like January, right? And I'm like, man. I want it to be November, dude.
Yeah.
I was sitting there at work today, and I'm like, man, if I could snap my finger and it could be September 1, I'd be so happy. Like if I could just snap and it's September 1, I'd be just relive season, man. That'd be fun.
Oh my.
You need a little bit of time, a little bit of break. But I know what you're saying. Like the early to mid season is like my favorite time in the woods.
Yeah.
That like late October, like when the leaves start falling, and like
it smells different outside.
that November 1 hits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The smell is crazy.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
the smell is
Oh,
wild.
so it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's probably one of my favorite. It's so funny you said that. It's probably one of my favorite things. As soon as that season hits, it's like when the leaves first get wet after they're falling. It's just like.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
So
the
good.
same when you're
So
chasing
good.
turkeys. It's like it's a whole different game.
Yeah, when the flowers start to
the
bloom,
smell,
and like
the air
dogwoods.
is so different. You're like,
Yeah.
it's just go time.
The honeybees start coming out. Yeah,
Yep.
dude, I'm telling you. Vince, you chase any turkeys or not? Are you just a deer hunter?
I got after them a little bit. I took kind of a break a little bit on turkeys this year. I went hard on turkeys the last handful of years just because I did tag that deer. But
Yeah.
this last year I took a break. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I've taken a few years off too.
And another thing, like we're loaded with turkeys here in Michigan. Like Michigan has a ton of turkeys, and like you can't drive down the road without them crossing in front of you half the time. So it's not like where you guys are at, where the numbers are like pretty hard down, and it's like a hard chase to get after them. Like, they're relatively easy to get after.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, anything else that you'd like to add to your season before we get into our second topic? Or any final thoughts?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. I think if there's anybody that's struggling out there with their, the last few seasons or just this last season of trying to get into that punch and tag groove, best advice I can give to you is just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Put your camo on. Don't worry about anything else, and go hit the woods and do what you know what to do.
I like that.
Just go.
Shoot that first buck that hits the scrape.
Shoot that first one, and have fun.
Yeah.
Just have. The guys say it all the time, but it is that true. Like, just go have fun. Like, have fun.
Amen.
If you're excited about it, everybody else is going to be excited about it, because even if you go and shoot that 200. Nobody's going to remember it after next week.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So just go.
Yeah. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it.
He said, "Don't say it about me if you're going to say it about."
I won't jinx him, but I think that our camp. I won't name drop, but I think that we're going to have. I'm making a bold prediction. As long as weather cooperates.
Yeah, the weather's key.
I think that we will have a fantastic time in camp together. That's my prediction.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It was so funny that the first time you said a while ago, you were like, told me and Kev, like, you really didn't give us an option. You told us that we were going. And my wife listened to the podcast. She goes, "So you're going to Indiana?" And I was like, I guess so.
Yep, Matt said I am.
Yeah, dude, you have to go.
It was so funny. She's like, listened to it like the first hour it was out, and she texted me, "So you're going to Indiana?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I guess I am."
Honestly, though, that camp is so much fun.
Dude. And old Terry. Whew. Terry might get upgraded this year. I'm trying. The wife's not about it, but I'm trying. I'm trying real hard. Old Terry might get an upgrade.
Well, if you just get rid of Terry, you have to upgrade then.
See, the problem is that
maybe Terry breaks.
Well, Terry's
maybe Terry just finds his hands in new owners.
Terry has survived a Subaru. Terry has survived some license plates. Terry has survived tires blowing out going down the road. Terry has survived a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Terry gets accidentally left in a Walmart parking lot and it went missing.
With a for sale sign.
Scratch the VIN off of it. I don't know what happened.
There you
Terry.
go. Send Terry off.
Yeah. Hey, we could go to that restaurant and just push it over the hill. Oh, yeah, she'd be gone.
She's
then.
gone.
She'd be floating. All right, Vince. So go ahead, Kev.
Nope. I was going to say we had another good, important subject here we kind of want to touch on, which is exciting news too. So.
Yeah. So, obviously, Vince, we talked a little bit off air. For anybody listening, Vince has come to Christ within the last 6 months, a year, maybe.
Since August.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And we've definitely had our hands kind of in the journey and just kind of helping a little bit along the way. Definitely not taking credit for anything. It was just we asked some questions here or there. We'd answer them and praying for them, etc. And just and I just would like you to talk a little bit about whatever you're comfortable with sharing, because I do feel like you have made the most important decision that you'll ever make in your life, and super proud of you and super happy for you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That makes me get a little bit emotional hearing that, so that feels good, because I wasn't I didn't grow up that way per se. I definitely we'll keep it short. Long story short, little background story. I grew up in a partially broken home, and where a young kid should never see some of the things that I have seen. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You can fill in whatever blanks you want to fill in. lots of partying, lots of drugs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So I was a wild child for a long time, all the way up until my adult years. Nothing crazy where, getting in like heavy trouble or anything like that, but definitely, doing what I want, how I want, saying what I want, however I want to say it, just anything I want to do. I have, no remorse or anything like that. Just living how 100 miles an hour, and which a lot of people have. But yeah, I was hunting this year. I had mentioned that I went to North Dakota in August, and so I had hunted super hard, and I mean hard. I had hunted just as hard as I hunted those last 4 years chasing that deer. I had hunted in that 2 week time frame in North Dakota, sun up, sun down. It was 90 degrees, all over the state, moving constantly, long day sits, and I got to the final. It was like the final sit. I knew there was a deer there, and it was like 8 a.m. I had woke up super late in the morning, and I had tried to think that I could slip through this 7 foot CRP field to the back end where I could see this maple tree that I wanted to get in because I knew if I got in it that I would get an opportunity. Of course, halfway there, I jump up a really big deer, and he jumps off, goes in the woods. I end up getting up in the tree anyway, and I had told myself like, all right, either going to commit or it's time to go home. But it's going to be a long sit. And at that time, like the sun doesn't go down for 13 hours. So I sat in the tree for 13 hours with a half a bottle of water and like 10 sunflower seeds or something like that. I got my absolute tail kicked, ended up getting an opportunity, and I didn't end up punching the tag. But what had happened to me during that time as I was essentially suffering in the tree and starving, I was seeing the most beautiful sunset I had ever seen in my entire life. And I have traveled across the world twice in my early days being in the Navy. I've been as far as Egypt, I've been to Africa, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece, Bahrain. I've been all over the place. And this was the most beautiful sunset I had ever seen. And I was just in amazement, and I had just had this feeling that it just came over me, and I had just asked myself like, I don't know why I've been living this way for so long. Like I don't have to do that just because just because I've been that way doesn't mean I have to be that way. Nothing says I have to be that way. I've kind of always been on my own path, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks that I have some really good people in my life, and I should listen a little bit. And so I did, and yeah, then I took the leap like right away, no turning back, and it's been the best decision I've ever made. And but I will say that it's definitely it comes with its challenges. Like I'm doing some internal battles constantly. I've been a certain way for 30 plus years, and which I think is completely acceptable and normal when you're going through that. But it's not easy, but it's been amazing. Like I don't really know what else to say about it.
It gets easier, but it also doesn't get easier.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
it's
gets
way
easier.
harder to live than how I've been living. That's for sure.
It is.
And I don't know if it gets talked about very much because it's still new to me. But from my perspective and what I've heard from the outside, like I never heard about that part.
Yeah.
But it is way harder,
Yeah.
but 10 times more rewarding.
I feel like that. I agree. It's not. I feel like if you aren't a Christian or have any association with it, and then I feel like you have this thought of, well, if I accept God into my heart and all this, and like everything just turns right. Your life just is great. Like that's how it's perceived to some people. Yeah, and then they go through the same thing where they're like, it's actually really hard. But it's also like a free will thing. He wants you to choose him. And he wants you to choose that life. So, yeah, it's a crazy thing.
It's extremely difficult.
Yeah, I did leave one part out on the story, which I apologize. I just had forgotten. I was just kind of trying not to get too emotional talking about it.
No, yeah.
But before that had like, or as it was like coming over me that that this is what I needed to be doing. Prior to me, and I didn't mention this earlier, but prior to me putting a wounded shot on that buck, a doe had actually stepped out in that same exact spot and gave me an opportunity, and I missed. And I remember this was at like, I don't know, the 12th hour in, so it was only like an hour left of light, and I had missed, and I remember being so frustrated. And I got to the point where, at the peak of frustration, that's kind of when I was just like, all right, I just need to just let it go, and then that feeling came over me, and then that's when I actually said my first true, I would say my first true, genuine prayer to God, asking Him about why could I not hit, why could I not hit this deer? Like, it was 20 yards, it was right there, I did everything right. Like, I was just asking why, and can you help me out on this one? If you give me another opportunity, I'll make sure it counts. And within that hour, a buck came out in that same exact spot, did the same exact thing. Did I connect? I connected, but it didn't work out. But, he gave me another opportunity. And that's really all I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. It was truly amazing. I wish I would have tagged it, but that wasn't the point of that. That was him just showing that he's there and it's okay.
Yeah, and then go ahead, Kev.
I was just gonna say that's probably a bigger special moment than you filling your tag.
Amen. I was just gonna say that.
Like,
oh yeah,
if you would have filled that tag, you would have moved on to the next state the next time. But like, this was a big moment, and that is so cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I'm not so. Well, and I'm not so sure if, obviously filling that tag was not the best choice for me from him.
Yeah.
I feel like if I would have filled that tag, maybe I wouldn't be where I'm at now with that. And I think I might not be.
Yeah.
Right.
I was going to say, before Kevin said what he said, I was going to say the exact same thing, that I highly doubt that we'd be having this conversation right now if you filled that tag. If you would have 10 ring that deer and he ran 30 yards and fell over dead, you would have remembered that conversation for a week, and then it would have been,
you would have lost the
the
fire.
drive and the fire. Yeah. And it's amazing how sometimes God will put you in such a low place in life. And I know that some people maybe listening to this are like, why would you get worked up about missing a deer? But I mean, for us, like guys like us that, live and breathe it, like, that's all we want. That's all we, crave. And then when
you spend that much time,
money,
and
effort. Yep.
Yeah, that's.
And when you only get one opportunity, and we've all been there, bow hunting, you might get one or two opportunities. And if you mess it up, man, you've messed it up. And, it's amazing how God can. He's done that to me. I mean, Jarrett was in the tree with me when it happened. Like, he's done it to me, man. Where it's like, he just gets you at this lowest of low, and then you just cave, and you're just like, okay, it's your way or the highway, and I'm tired of doing it my way because it's not working.
And it's crazy when you have the moment that we had. It's like, it literally makes no logical worldly sense. And it's like,
dude, my arrow
there is no
bounced off that deer, dude.
There's no other explanation.
Dude, God dropped a stainless steel plate in front of that deer. The arrow literally went boing and bounced off of it.
I know. It's like there is no other explanation.
There's no logical.
No.
Dude, yeah, 100%. God was like, listen to me, son. You are screwing up, and I need to get your attention. And
got it.
Man, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No, I really appreciate you sharing that, Vince. And obviously, we're here for you if you need anything. We, like I said off air, we're probably not the best at like bouncing like scripture off of each other. Like, hey, what does if you throw a verse our way, you can ask like, what does it mean? Like, we could probably help you out there. But that's one thing that we need to work on as a group, is just like learning more scripture. But any kind of life advice or anything like that, or spiritual advice or stuff like that, we could definitely help you out in any way
We're
possible.
here for the journey. We want to be part of it.
Yeah.
I still thoroughly remember when you texted, and I think you might have sent. I think he sent you a text.
Vince texted
and
Kev.
you sent a screenshot into the group, and like
I did.
I was so
it
happy.
was such a power. It was a powerful text.
Yeah.
Like I was like
This is
overjoyed.
awesome.
I was like,
Yeah.
that is.
I was
legit.
wondering. I just sent it to Kevin. I didn't know if Kevin shared it or not, and it obviously it would never offend me sharing anything I sent to any of you guys.
Right.
I was definitely curious about that, but I wanted to say, I've always known, about you guys and your faith, and way back when, before I met any of you guys, just chatting with Kevin, just seeing what I see through socials, and with your guys' group specifically, you guys have always made me feel like I belong before I believe, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so very much appreciative of that, and it's taught me a lot through the years, and I can't thank you guys enough.
That means a lot.
Dude,
Yep,
you're gonna make me tear up now, man.
I'm telling you, man, it's emotional over here. Trust me. Trust me.
Nah, dude, much love. Like honestly, not to say that we do that to everybody, because there are people that we just don't click with. But Vince, you were definitely somebody that we all clicked with extremely well, and sharing camp with you, a couple of years back, I don't know, man. I just feel like that's I don't want to say that we went above and beyond, like trying to treat you like specially or anything like that. But like what I feel like as Christians, how we had you in camp, and I'm having a hard time saying this, but it's like,
I think
that's how we should always treat people.
Something we've done a lot better that we did somewhat work on was, like having him here. Like we just acted how we act normally. Like
we didn't put on a face.
Yeah, the best way to do it is to live your life
Yep.
that way and to show others. And that has, if God wants that to have a power in someone else's life, like he will put that forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I think that's something that we've done a lot better at, is just
Yep.
living how we're going to live and let God put us where we need to be.
Yeah.
Yep. Amen.
Uses us where we are now.
You're right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, Vince, I guarantee you down the road, maybe a year from now, 2 years, maybe next week, who knows? God's going to use you, man. And it's going to be scary, and you're going to run from it at first, but I promise, just tackle it head on, man. And just listen to him when he speaks, because he'll open some doors for you that you've never even imagined that can be opened. And he'll use you in a way that, that obviously we can't affect, and somebody's going to walk into your life, and you're going to be the only one that maybe can affect them in a positive way, and you just have to be that light for that person.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, extremely proud, extremely happy.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Excited to hear that,
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to, at the end of this section, I wanted to give Weston's podcast a shout out, because
go ahead.
Do you know Weston Schrank?
I don't. Maybe.
He was.
Go ahead, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
What was his title?
Like marketing director.
Exactly.
Marketing director, pro staff ambassador,
Yeah,
leader. I don't know.
For Trophy Line, but
For Trophyline, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
but I think he's been in and out of the
He-
industry for a little while.
Yeah, and he's since left from
Yeah.
Trophy Line.
Yep. But he started up a podcast with it's him and his wife has been on it, and then a family friend of hers that he became acquainted with, as they've been married, and then he's a pastor.
I think he's some relation in the family.
Yeah.
I think on her side.
On
though.
her side, yeah.
Correct.
And dude,
It's some
he
good
has
stuff.
made an absolute 360
I texted him the other
life
day.
change, and he has a podcast. It's called Shepherd Legacy, and they're only a couple episodes in, but he tells his full testimony story.
check it out,
Oh
Vince.
my
You'll
goodness,
like it.
dude!
Okay.
It'll
Awesome.
tear you up.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hearing someone that's in the industry, and then looking back now, he sees it's just full circle.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't listened to that and you're a podcast person,
it's definitely not it's not hunting related yet.
No, it's
No.
not.
No,
It's
no,
not.
it's 100% biblical based or spiritually based. So
That's
if,
awesome.
if that's
It
something
is
that somebody
awesome.
wants to check
It's
out.
awesome.
good.
Also like knowing him and then listening to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen to that. Shout
Cool.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? No, man. I
So,
really
think so.
appreciate you
I feel like
hopping on.
I feel like we covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll have a couple podcasts with the old Vince holding some of these
There
in the
you go.
background.
Maybe. If it's in his goodwill, then yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
Amen. And that's something that's
Yeah.
hard to swallow sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just because we want it doesn't mean it's right for us. in the
Amen.
moment, you know.
Amen.
But that that goes back to like how I was talking about earlier. It's just like, and that's what I was hinting at is like just letting go and just
Yeah.
enjoying your season. So, like, not to go back to the guy that's listening that is struggling, but I can't tell you how much more enjoyable hunting and your season is, and the personal life is, and just every day. Just letting go and go in that direction. Like it just, you gotta experience it.
What was that? What was that quote that you said about don't love a deer, love your wife and kids? What was that?
I've
Oh,
heard that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, actually, it was told to me by an old timer a handful of years ago, and I forget what we were talking about, but essentially I was just telling him like, hey, I'm hunting a lot of public land. Like, do you have any advice for me? Because I had seen him on some public land, and he had said, yeah. He said, don't fall in love with a deer that's for your wife and children.
Yeah.
And that was the extent of our conversation.
Amen,
Love
bro.
is saved.
And that's
for
all
your
they
life.
said, really. And I was like,
Dude, amen.
all right.
You need to refine that old boy.
Hey, seriously, do you ever think
I
that
mean-
sometimes like those conversations are meant to have on like a deeper level? Like
100%. It's stuck.
Yeah.
like I'm not saying.
Yeah, I wish I would have talked to him. I wish I would have made him stay there. And
Well,
talk to me because-
here's my theory. Like, I'm not like people might get a little far fetched here, but like, I'm not saying that guy was like an angel walking, but I'm a firm believer that there's demons and angels amongst us every day, and I'm not convinced that God can't use people in different situations in life too. Because I've had conversations where with people before where like I've been really struggling with something, and then just magically somebody will like come into my life, say 2 words, and then like turn around and walk away, and it's like, wait, where did that come from?
And that sticks with you for a long
And it
time.
sticks forever.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that like God can use people, and like that old boy that was hunting public, I guarantee you that was God talking to you. You know, like.
Yeah, well, you saying that and then looking back, that was right around the time when me and Audrey like had became official, and I already knew that like Audrey, that's my girl. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to have her by my side for the long haul. She's
Yeah.
just too cool. Like there's no way I can't.
Yeah.
And but that happened right around that time when we became like official, and so yeah, that was that little birdie in the back. I've never forgot it, and every now and then I got to reel myself back in because it's
That's right.
it's fun to hunt, but your family's what you got.
Dude,
Yeah.
I promise you, like, when you start prioritizing the important things in your life, like Christ first and then family and, children, etc., and like, I'm a firm believer that God will reward you in that process. Like, it may not be exactly what you wanted, but like, I'm a firm believer in that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you live, like people will call it like good karma. Like if you do good things, good things will be returned. Like I guess I'm just a firm believer in that God will definitely bless those who put others before themselves.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
okay. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
We'll try to keep the weeping off the podcast.
It's tough.
Hopefully you
It's
guys
tough.
will have a video version so you can see Vince crying on the screen.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
It is.
It is.
I can
It's
lift
good
it.
stuff.
I can lift it.
It's
No,
heavy,
dude,
but it's
hey
good.
man, I honestly like the cojones to come on here and be a man and say the things and admit that you were wrong and like and admit and give your life to Christ is like that's extremely hard to do on just talking to friends, let alone on a podcast. So I give you a lot of credit for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, when you had reached out, I felt honored, and then I had a internal conversation with myself on, well, wait a second, do I want to? Can I do that? Do I want to do that? Should I do that? And then it just got to the point where it all happened relatively quickly, but it got to the point where it's like, well, if I don't, then who's gonna?
Amen.
And so I've always tried to be as authentic as I possibly could, especially when I do any podcast with anybody, because I always feel like there's so much content out there where people are not, and they don't like to talk about the failures or the misses or the realistic situations of what bow hunting really is or hunting in general. And so I try to be as authentic as possible. So then I was super excited to come on and do this.
That's good.
Hey man, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
One more thing
appreciate
that it's good. It's heavy, but it's good. I've heard this said. I remember my dad saying this about his dad, because I would say, I think it was my grandpa. I never met him. He died right before I was born, but it's always been said that he kind of like made this leap, same as you. He was in the military, and like after military, something changed. He was kind of like the first one that really made the big leap to being like a Christian, a devout Christian, and like they say that like he changed our family's path. Like, and it just, when you hear stories like you and you say, you saw things you shouldn't have seen, and it was really, looking back, it was very rough. But it's like, you just made a decision that is going to change your kids' lives, It's
generational.
Like, you've just made a change that it's like, hopefully your kid doesn't see that. And if he lives that way that you are now putting forth, his kids won't see that. And it's just like, you're making big moves. Making big moves.
I appreciate it.
I've never thought of that.
Dang,
Man.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah.
But it should feel good. It's like,
it's it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Put that out. Yeah, think about it. Chew on that one.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm gonna have to tell my wife that. She's gonna be crying.
Hey, after record.
Disclosure: she's like 23 weeks pregnant, so she's allowed to cry.
Yeah.
But she's super tough, so don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, after we get done recording this, tell her to hop in that room or whatever. We can chat with her for a second.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do podcasts. No, she doesn't. She's done a couple in the past, and she's just like, hey, like if anybody asks to have me on, like,
nah,
I'm not interested.
Yeah. I don't blame it.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think if I had my own, I think I could get her to hop on. A couple times.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you never know what's in the future. So
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, man, I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to share camp with you. Maybe down the road we might live a little closer. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put any pressure on you. But a little wink, wink.
Maybe. Kev was pressuring me earlier today.
I was pressuring pretty hard.
I think Kev still has a help wanted sign hanging up.
And if he doesn't, he'll put it back up.
You know how to wrench on some cars?
I had sent a message to Kevin and said, hey, I'm thinking about taking a shed hunting trip and some scouting and maybe possibly going down to where we're thinking about going to camp and just learning a little bit more for myself. And he had sent back a funny text like, oh, been to the area type of deal with like a little screenshot. And then he said, oh, by the way, we're having this little get-together thing. You guys are more than welcome. Maybe you guys could, I know it's a drive, but maybe find some time. Maybe look at maybe look at some houses.
Yeah.
It was like a combo. That's like,
Yeah.
look at some houses if you got the time.
Be like a business
Something
trip
like
then
that.
at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
right?
It was hilarious.
It's
It
a
was
write-off.
hilarious.
It's a write-off.
Hilarious.
Did you invite him to the?
I did.
I was gonna say I
Yep.
was gonna invite him afterwards. So
Okay.
I already got it, sucker.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, if we can, then we will.
Yeah.
Sweet.
As
But-
long as it's not too close to the due date, though.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
We'll talk
yeah,
off
that's
air.
the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
after. All right, Kevy, wrap
Okay.
us up.
The only we owe a listener shout out,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Keith.
over in PA. So we met him at the PA Mobile Hunter Expo a couple years ago.
Let's go, Keith.
He is a longtime follower.
Yeah.
Yep.
And dude smoked an absolute.
He shot a buck, right?
He shot
Oh,
a
yeah.
buck earlier in the season.
Oh yeah. Cool story
So
too.
he was flintlock open sight muzzleloader hunting in PA
I'm pulling up.
and shot a deer at 120 yards.
Yeah, dude.
Just
Flintlock open sight
Open,
at 120
yes.
Yeah,
yards.
dude.
Sweet
Yes.
picture.
It's a sweet
It's a
picture.
s-
in the
'cause
snow.
Yep.
So-
That's a man.
so
Yeah,
congrats.
that's what he
Yes,
said.
seriously. So
on public.
That's awesome.
Yep.
so Keith, if you're
Wow.
listening, awesome shot. Way to
Yeah,
go,
dude.
buddy.
Yeah, dude.
That's so cool.
It's funny in my phone. His name is well, see how up here it says new contact name and it says like
it has his
but
name.
look what. So I think he put his name in my phone and like it's
Yeah.
like Garb.
Yeah.
Like he just spelt it wrong. It's a bad story. I shouldn't have told it. But I should fix that right.
Yeah, you should.
Update. There we go.
Yeah, but Keith, that's sweet.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate him.
Shout out
Yeah,
Keith.
thanks for
hitting
sending
us
us
up.
story. Alrighty, well,
That's awesome.
thanks for jumping on again, Vince. We always appreciate, love having you on. Remember, it doesn't matter what you guys have done in the past. You can always be born again, and born again is out.